How many of you have been told by a parent, a teacher, a coach to stop? Stop running. Stop talking. Stop trying. New question. How many of you have stopped yourself before someone else could? Kept your hand down. Your question was stupid. Didn't go for the shot. You suck at the sport. Neglected to study. You're not made for the subject anyway. Me too. In the classroom, on the court, and everywhere in between, I pride myself on being a passionate student and athlete. That passion came with extreme happiness when things went great. But I hadn't noticed the negativity that creeped in when things didn't. It only makes sense, right? From my parents, teachers, and coaches, I'd always heard, don't make this mistake again. Don't overhit your forehand. Don't. I knew to stay level-headed from tennis, but subconsciously, that don't compounded into stop it. Why can't you just win a point? Don't screw up again. And I became lost. I was improving, academically, in tennis, every day. But when the most important moment came along, the final round of a tennis tournament, the test that would define my semester's grade, it felt like I was always losing to myself. This pattern finds itself appearing in many lives. Reflect on yourselves for a second. It doesn't have to be as extreme, or it could be more extreme, but somehow we've created a global bubble of negativity. A bubble whose parts can be as little as the burn of a sharp no to a volcano of self-deprecation. This bubble prevents not only large dreams, but even small, day-to-day goals from being reached as effectively as they could be. How can we solve this? Let's look a little closer. In everything that we do, we share positive and negative experiences, whether that be in our relationships, while working toward our goals, or just living life. Negative words in particular, however, sneak into our lives in places that we don't even notice anymore. When we're studying, I'm just bad at math. When we're playing sports, I always mess up. Even in casual conversation, I suck at this. Sorry. We say it jokingly, quickly, repeatedly, and the repetition is what matters, because the words that we repeat create our reality. Now you might be thinking, well, duh, obviously negative words are bad. We're told to avoid negativity all the time. But research shows that the implications go much deeper than just bad vibes. Richter et al. Shows that repeated negative self-language increases not just stress, but mental fatigue and interpersonal strain. Meaning, it doesn't just hurt how we feel, it hurts how we perform and how we relate to others. Picture this. I'm standing on a tennis court. It's hot, my legs are tired, and I miss my serve. Immediately, before the ball even bounces a second time, I think to myself, you always do this. Why are you like this? I don't throw my racket, I don't yell, but internally, I've already lost the next point. Maybe you don't play tennis, but you've had that moment before a test, before a presentation, where the mistake isn't the problem, the commentary is. So let me ask you this. What do you ask yourself when things go wrong? Here's where things get interesting. Research by Eilert Fishback shows that people perform better when feedback is action-oriented, not evaluative. Instead of, you're bad at this, try, adjust your grip, do this approach, slow down on the next one. When my dad and I first learned about Fishback's research, we decided to try it out while improving my serve. Day one, talking to myself was tedious. Day two, my serve was getting better, but maybe that was just me, you know. It was on day three that I noticed just how much faster I was making progress compared to how I was training for years. It sounds cliche, but this framework allows you to reach your goals faster, more effectively, and most importantly, always walk out of a challenge feeling improved and positive. It's important to highlight the difference between positive and action-oriented feedback. While using affirmations like good job or nice shot might help keep you uplifted, action-oriented words like focus on replicating that or hit that shot again will focus your mind even more effectively toward your goals. You'll notice that with action-oriented feedback, there's always something that you can do, and that's the key. Now, some people say, isn't negative self-talk motivating? Doesn't being hard on yourself push you to improve? And honestly, it sort of does. Coco Gauff, I'm sure you've heard of her, a multi-Grand Slam winner and one of the greatest tennis players in the history of the sport. She claimed to read hate comments before her matches, and it clearly helped her. But here's the problem. Motivation that comes from self-attack doesn't scale. Like a fight between focus and inevitable mental strain, it burns hot and then it burns out. Coco Gauff herself, in 2019, took a break from tennis due to mental pressure. For longevity and consistency, the clarity and peace that comes from action orienting is what we need. After taking time to reflect and reorient herself, Gauff's back to winning major titles, like the 2025 French Open just last year. It's hard to get this in your system at first. You might still find yourself making negative comments when you begin to struggle. Spoiler alert, I still do. But now, I find myself saying different phrases more often. I'm getting better at math. I always bounce back. And with this change, I can do this. Let this be day one of your journey and orient yourself to make that switch to action-oriented feedback. Thank you.